I'm Afi Ayanna, and welcome to your Rise and Shine yoga practice. Today's yoga practice is focused on your activation. So with this practice, we're going to focus on subtle movements that work with the core, with really activating and energizing the body from the inside out so that you can truly feel your best. We'll begin today in seated pose, Sukhasana. So whatever's easy for you, you can place particularly most people have one foot that feels more comfortable closer to the groin than the other. So mine is the right. So the right foot closer to the groin than the left. Knees nice and wide apart. Rotate the shoulders up, down, and back, sitting on the throne. And just notice, close the eyes here. Notice, is your energy tilted forward in the pelvis, or can you sit back on the sit bones? And from here, rotate the shoulders up, down, and back, squeezing the elbows into the side body and placing from here the backs of the palms up on the backs of the knees. And again, going through stacking the core over the pelvis, making sure the chin in the energy is tilted back, so you could even rock back and forth from the front of your sit bones back all the way back on the glutes, and just find a nice neutral point by rocking to the front again and then rock back to the back, and find that neutral point so that you're really just sitting back and relaxing. Chin parallel to the floor, eyes turned up towards the center of the brow. Gentle, easy access to the inner world by closing the eyes here and focusing on the breath, relaxing the muscles in the face. Take a nice deep inhale in through the nose. You have arrived on your throne. Inhale in and exhale out. Deep, powerful exhale out the nose. Inhale in through the nose here. And next time, exhale all the way out the mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. Till all the air leaves the belly. Checking the posture again, inhaling in through the nose. Fill up the lungs all the way up into the underarms, and then exhale out the mouth. Releasing the breath. Gentle gaze. Inhale the arms up above the head. Reaching the arms up. And exhale, cascading the arms over the top of the head. Here we're going to connect with what is the toroidal field, or this field of energy that rolls out the outside of the body as the arms move up and above the head. And exhale, imagining that you're a hollow tube, and as you exhale, the energy pours down through the center of the tube, and the hands, palm facing back, running through the midline of the body. And again, opening up the arms, gathering. Chin may move up towards the sky. Exhale. Hands back through the midline of the body. If you open up the eyes to gaze to see what was happening, feel free to close the eyes again. Inhale the arms up. Gathering heaven and grounding, palms facing down, bringing that energy back to earth. Expanding out. Filling up your tube, filling up your air, your breath. The prana comes into the body, and exhale, releasing. Blow the energy out the mouth, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. And one more time like this, inhale, gathering, reaching, active through the fingertips. And exhale, hands back to heart center. So the hands move all the way down, pressing the palms into the midline of the body. And this time, bring the elbows together. We're tracing the thumbs up the center of the brow, up to the top of the head, lifting the elbows up parallel towards the chin, and then bringing the hands up and apart, separating the palms out and parting the clouds. Arms come down towards the hands, towards the floor. Inhale, bring the elbows together, palms together, lifting the shoulders up. See how long can you keep the elbows together as then you part the clouds, pressing the hands far apart on the exhale. Inhale, hands together, elbows together, slowly tracing up the center line of the body, and exhale, releasing. Inhale, gather, hands to prayer, elbows together, coming up. Exhale, releasing. And one more, really slow like that, like you're moving through molasses. Inhale, palms come together, elbows, inhale. Tracing up, exhale, release. Beautiful. Hands back to heart center here. And placing both hands down on the knees, you can open up the eyes now if they're not already open. And we'll just do some gentle, what are called Sufi grounds, by placing the hands onto the knees. This is a good point, actually, to switch the legs. So drawing whatever leg, foot is closer to the, wasn't closer to the groin, to the groin, and then pressing the opposite leg in front. Really open up those knees. See how wide can you make the knees, as well as using the weight of the palms to kind of press back on the inner thighs, press onto the thigh bone, rotate the shoulders up and back and down, sit back onto your throne, and we'll move in small circles in one direction. Drawing the belly button back to the spine. It's almost a small imperceptible movement as you're just beginning to rotate around the center of the spine. Inhale, exhale, moving around gently. Using the breath to propel you as you move from one sit bone to the other. Chin parallel to the floor. You might even close the eyes here to really experience the stirring of the energy around the base of the spine, in the pelvic girdle. You can slow it down or speed it up depending on what you like. One more move in this direction and then we'll switch. So pressing into the palms, opening up the elbows back. The elbows can even move out if you like towards the corners of the knees, but most importantly, you don't want to press directly on the knees, but really using the elbows to create space in the body. And really propel the spine up and out of, away from the floor, out of that pelvic girdle. Slowly moving around the center of the spine. See if you can draw the navel back as you move around. Just using the natural breath here, or if you're familiar with the Ujjayi or victorious breath, breathing in through the nose and exhaling out the nose, snoring like a little baby as you breathe in through the nose and exhale out. Okay, beautiful. Releasing that, coming back to stillness. Bring the hands to the center of the heart. Chin reaches down towards the chest. Breathe into the back of the neck. Elbows squeezing the side body. Elongating the back of the spine. Again, moving that energy back, making sure you're seated on the back side of the pelvis, that the energy isn't tilting forward. And then exhale, release your chin up towards the sky. So we have the nice stable base of the pelvis. Inhale, chin to chest. Breathing through the back of the neck, elongating, and exhale, chin up towards the sky. This is super good for the thyroid, Breathing into the back of the neck, opening up the sides of the ears, and as the chin comes up, breathing into the thyroid and the thymus in the front of the chest. Exhale the chin down. Bringing the head back to parallel. And we're going to bring the hands into underneath the collarbones here and just tap along the front of the chest here. We have a lot of little lymph nodes here. So just gentle, tender fingers as if you were playing a piano and you're just tapping along the front of the sternum, all down the center of the chest. Giving a nice gentle breath in and out along the collarbone. Soft palms as you tap onto the chest. You tap down underneath the rib cage, activating lymph nodes that live here. And then reach up, grabbing opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Just give yourself a little shoulder massage here. Nice strong grip. Who says you can't afford a massage when you can give yourself some self-love and massage? Activating the shoulders, opening up the sides of the ears, helping drain lymph along the neck. And then draw the hands. You can even warm them up in front of you. Generating some heat, some prana and warmth into the hand. And then moving the hands down the sides of the back of the ear, drawing the hands underneath as hooks, that thumbs underneath the backs of the ears, along the jawline, underneath the chin. Flick that out the front, back behind the ears, along the jawline, flick that out the front. And one more time, back behind the ears. It feels so good creating this little hook with the thumb, drawing it out the front. Beautiful. And then make sure that you get tap along the tops of the shoulders, all the way down the arms, and then get underneath the arms, using the fists to tap into this points that will open up the side of the intercostal muscles here. Just gently tap. Coming back to the breath here. Breathing in through the nose, coming back to your Ujjayi breath. And then drawing the left hand down to the ground. We'll inhale the right arm up into the air. Bending the left elbow, reaching out of the right hip and grounding into the right hip. Extending, nice long line from the right fingertips all the way to the right sit bone. Bend that left elbow if it's available to you. The left elbow might even move all the way down to the ground, depending how flexible you are. And make sure you're not tilted forward, but again, opening up and back, drawing that shoulder blade back and down, breathing into the side body. Inhale up. Drawing that right arm down to the ground. On the side, lift the left hand up, tracing behind the ear. Left hand extend. Breathe into the side body. And then on the exhalation, bending the right elbow down. Lifting up and out of the left sit bones while simultaneously grounding down. And then draw that left elbow back into time space and draw the right elbow down to the ground. Left hip grounded. And on the exhale, back to neutral. Beautiful. We're going to place the knees, both knees up, and drawing the knees over to the left side, so that you're making a little hook. So the right knee moves towards the left heel, opening up the front of the right thigh here. Nice and tall, place the hands behind you, breathing into the chest. coming back to that Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath. And then on the exhale, bring the knees to center. Move, shifting the weight to the right hip. Left knee moves towards right heel. Again, pressing up nice and tall. The left hip bone will be off of the ground. We're grounding into the right. And then you can come back and forth, windshield wipering the knees back from one side to the other. If you have tender knees, you might just not move the knees all the way to the ground. You can place the hands behind you. But if you would like to try for a little bit more of a mobility challenge, you can bring your hands out front, pressing the palms. And notice keeping the weight back in the hips, because a lot of times if you're doing this, you'll begin kind of walking the hips forward. So just playing with moving through the hip joint, through mobility, looking to the right, over the right shoulder, looking to the left, over the left shoulder. And one more time, over to the right. And this time, bring the hands back, looking over to the left. And we'll gently place the hands down in front of us. So kind of a supine pigeon, bringing the hands out in front of you. You can bring the head down towards the floor. Breathe. The hands might extend long, or you can stack the palms on top of each other, breathing into the back of the heart. Grounding into the hips here, really feeling the opening in the left hip flexor. Breathe into the subtle yet very powerful, easy hip opener. And on the exhale, lift yourself up, and we will draw the belly button back towards the spine. Hands behind the body as you shift windshield wiper knees to the right side of the body. And then exhale, drawing the torso over the left thighs and elbows back. So the left elbow will come in line with the right knee and drawing the head down towards the floor, really getting into that right hip, to the right hamstring. Breathe deep into the belly, opening up the hips here. Extend the arms forward if you wanted more. And then coming back to center, walking back up. Here we'll come into a cat-cow position, so it's a tabletop. So drawing the hands down onto the ground, palms shoulder width apart. Inhale the chin and chest up towards the sky. Tailbone comes up towards the sky. And on the exhale, tilt the tailbone under, pressing into the back of to the hands, breathing in to the upper back. So really using this breath to breathe into, like the way a cobra or a snake would puff its chest out. You're going to breathe into the space with the looking down towards the belly button, gaze towards the belly button, and notice as you rest in this position, the chin is towards the chest, gentle compression of the thyroid, breathing into the back of the neck here. Press, press, press into the hands. All 5 fingers spread wide and far apart. And then inhale, tilt the tailbone under, chin up towards the sky. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. Really feel this energy as it opens up along the ribs. Spread the sit bones nice and wide and far apart here. Breathe deep into your belly. And on the exhale, press into the hands, coming back to that cobra position, pressing, breathing into behind the heart space. Press the heart up. Exhale at your own pace, just moving through your cat and cow. Finding some flexibility and yet activation through the spine. Finding a freedom of movement as you just create some space between each vertebra and the back of the neck. Breathing into the back of the heart as you open up the pelvic girdle. Great. And then tuck the toes under. Walking the hands back up. We're going to open up the tops of the feet and really toes tucked under. So you can even lift up the knees here, pressing into the toes. So make sure the toes are spread nice and wide apart. Then draw the knees back down. Walking the hands up and opening up the tops of the feet. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to cactus arms. Exhale the arms forward. Arms wide apart. Inhale the arms forward. Exhale the arms down to the floor. Feeling that in the tops of the feet and using the tops of the feet to just kind of pat them out, massage them, and then we'll tuck the toes under again. Walking the hands back, opening up the arches of the feet here. This is so good if you have any plantar fasciitis, just bottoms of the feet issues, cramping in the foot arches. This might even for a second seem like it's cramping the foot arches, but this is really helping open up the energy lines and the fascia that run all along the bottoms of the feet. Okay, inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms open to cactus arms. Exhale, push the energy forward, arms straighten. Inhale the arms back down to the ground. Untuck the toes and pat the feet up. We're going to do that little subtle movement again. Tuck the toes under. One last time. Energy comes back, tilting. Weight back into the heels. Walk the arms back towards the knees. Hands up the leg. Inhale the arms above the head. Exhale, open the arms to cactus arms. On the exhalation here, inhale. Exhale, press the arms forward. Inhale the arms down to the ground. Release the tops of the feet. Giving them a nice tap out. Beautiful. Walk the feet forward. And we'll come into the back here for a little back activation. As we fire up the glutes, fire up the core here. So placing the elbows onto the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. You might rock back and forth from one hip to another. Active through the shoulders and then tucking the whole back from the top of the spine, the midline of the spine, especially if you have a little sway back or curve. You want to make sure the lower back presses into the ground. Heels are hip width distance apart. Inhale here. And exhale. Belly button drawing back towards the spine. Knees wide apart, pressing all of the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, widening the toes, pressing through those arches that we just opened. And then we're going to press into the heels and slowly lift the tailbone up off of the ground, the middle spine, pressing into the elbows and peeling up until the chin and chest lifts towards the sky, squeezing the glutes here. So the core also extends all the way into the glutes. So using this full energetic extension, pressing, imagine you have strings that are pulling the hip bones up towards the sky in here. Inhale, breathe into your proud chest here. Using that victorious Ujjayi breath. And on the exhale, slowly vertebra by vertebra, releasing the tailbone back towards the floor. down towards the floor. You can rock back and forth from one hip to the other and then slowly peel up. Inhale, squeeze the glutes here. Strong through the inner thighs. Imagine if you had a block, you're squeezing the knees together almost, squeezing that block, imaginary block between the legs. And then on the exhale, peeling one vertebra by vertebra. Tailbone is the last to reach the ground. Tracing along the backside of the spine. Inhale, peel the chest. Chin towards the chest. Ribs up. Squeeze the glutes. Hips are the last thing to lift towards the sky. Press, press, press into all corners of the feet. Squeeze the thighs together. Press into the elbows here. Breathe into your proud chest. You got this. One more breath here. Inhale. Nice and strong breath. And on the exhale, releasing the shoulders, center of the chest back down towards the ground. Peeling lower lumbar spine back down towards the ground. Squeezing the glutes as the lower back releases to the ground. Release the arms out. We're going to place the feet together here into Badakanasana or butterfly pose. You can bring the hands to the inner thighs if you like, or just leave the palms up towards the sky and just moving the knees up and down to release the lower back here. And release any movement in the legs, the knees widen, toes together. Nice deep breath into the lower belly. You settle, noticing any just subtle shifts in the body. Eyes closed, inner gaze moving up towards the center of the brow. And then on the inhale, knees come to the chest. Rocking from side to side here. Releasing the lower back. You can kick the right leg up into the air to open up your hamstring. Kick the left leg up in the air. Pressing the right foot into the ground. Alternating. Slow kick right into the air. Press left heel into the ground. Energy through the legs. Right foot kicks into the ground. Left. Opening up the back of the hamstring. Really press that belly into the ground one more time like that. Right foot kicks up. Left pressing into the ground. The tops of the hands or the palms of the hands might really also support you here. So that right heel comes down. Left reaches up. Extending through the back of the legs. And then when you're ready, extending the legs all the way long and coming lying into your Shavasana pose. Your resting pose, inhale here. Feet hip width distance apart, palms face up towards the sky. You can place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Taking this time to allow the benefits of this practice to settle in. Feel the breath as it rises into the palm. Almost feeling as if, as you take a deep inhale, gently having breath blown into you, and then on the exhale, as you release the breath out, releasing the breath out into the universe, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. Taking a moment to be grateful for our bodies, grateful for our ability to be here to absorb the healing benefits from this practice. Feeling the breath as it fills up the back of the body. Noticing the belly as it releases back to the floor. Feeling that Ujjayi breath one more time. So victoriously settles into your being. Placing both hands in front of the heart. Hands up to the brow, giving thanks. For hands pressed in. Anjali or prayer mudra, giving thanks for right heart-centered thought. Hands in front of the mouth, giving thanks for right heart-centered speech. And bringing the hands in front of the heart, giving thanks for your beating heart, works for you day in and day out with such little thanks. Giving thanks for this right heart-centered action that we can bring into our beings by starting to cultivate this activated awareness. Namaste and Ashe.